Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you're all staying warm. As you know, we have a polar vortex on our way. Some of you already have it. Some, it's on its way, it just hasn't got there yet. For me, I'm filming. For me, I'm recording inside, mainly because I've got to go to work in about an hour. So I'm sorry there's no view of the farm today. When I do get to the farm, it is going to be bitter cold. So I don't know how much recording I'm going to be doing once I get there, with as cold as they're saying it's going to get. So I thought, well, I'll sit up in my office slash craft area. I got all kinds of stuff that I do, wanted to talk about, okay, what do you do for your livestock when it's going to be this cold? Okay, different livestock require different needs. Start with the horses, since because of my name, I think a lot of you come to my channel mainly because of the horses. So that's where I'm going to start. Okay, when it comes to horses, and pretty much any large herbivore type livestock, you got to keep hay in front of them. Okay, in this kind of cold, hay. They cannot have too much hay, because the act of digesting that roughage is what helps to keep them warm. Okay, don't worry about the grain, that's minor. They gotta have the hay. That's the most important thing. Hay and water. Okay, when it comes to water, okay, water freezes, people. It does. Now, it depends on your situation as to how you deal with frozen water. Okay, whether it be plugging in a livestock heater, livestock tank heater, okay, or just taking buckets of water out to them frequently, or taking a hammer or sledgehammer and breaking up the ice. Don't forget to remove the ice from the tank, okay, so that they have fresh water. And that's something you'll have to do frequently as well. Hey, if you're on the grid and you got power available, plugging in a stock tank heater is awesome. Just be careful. Know the specs for your heater. Be very careful that it doesn't touch the sides of your tank. Whether it be a metal one, you can cause a short, which would cause a shock to your livestock when they go to drink. Or I've seen the Rubbermaid stock tanks catch on fire. So be aware of what you need to worry about for your particular situation. Okay. There's other things. We're fortunate that on the farm where I have honey, they have automatic waterers in most of the pastures. There is one style of automatic waterer that's in one pasture that does freeze up solid, so that one's not very good. The one that honey's in, that one is good, even though I have seen when it gets extremely cold ice around the edges, but they can still, there's enough horses to keep the water moving so that it doesn't freeze solid usually. Like I said, the hay is the most important. I can't emphasize the hay enough, people. Really, I cannot emphasize the hay enough. If your horses are a good weight, in other words, they have good muscle coverage on the bones, and possibly even fat, okay, a little bit of fat on them is good this time of year. It helps to insulate them, and also their coat, their winter coat. You've seen Honey, she is well equipped when it comes to both layer fat and coat. She gets a very woolly coat. Okay, know your horse, know what kind of coat they have. Different breeds will have, and even ages will have different thicknesses of coat. Okay, There's a lot of things that can affect the coat of a horse. Health for one. If their nutrition has been compromised prior to going into winter, they may not have a good winter coat. So if they don't have a good winter coat in this kind of temperatures, then you need to consider blanketing your horses. Okay, I am not a fan of stalling a horse in inclement wet weather. It's not natural for them, and that's when you start to have digestive issues, possibility of colic, stuff like that. A horse is much better off being out in pasture in the majority of cases, the vast majority of cases. Okay, so just make sure you have plenty of hay in front of them, so they're moving, they're eating, they're constantly. And this is one time when I don't worry about Honey keeping her nose stuck in a round bale. Okay, because this is what's going to help keep her warm in these cold polar temperatures. Okay, so there's just some things to think about. Monitor your horses, your livestock, anywhere from goats, cattle. Know what they need. A windbreak. A windbreak is good. Okay, keep them out of the wind as much as possible. And sometimes they don't read these manuals and books that say that they need to be on. So whatever, they're going to do what they're going to do. But if you can provide them a windbreak, if they have a windbreak available to them, they will take advantage of it. If they get cold, they'll get out of the wind, and that's where they'll hang out. That's where they'll take their naps. Okay. Ideally, put the hay in the area of the windbreak. Sometimes it's not an option. Okay, you know your situation. Be mindful of what your situation is. Pay attention. Take a look. Watch. Observe. See what's going on. Okay? That's pretty much it. A lot of people get into this feeding horses a warm mash. The jury's still out on that. Some vets say it doesn't do any good. Some vets swear by it. Old timers swear by it. When it comes down to it, the most important thing for them to have is hay. Good hay. So that keeps their digestive system moving. Hay and water. You've got to remember, hay and water is the most important. Yeah, I'm repeating myself, but it can't be stated enough times as far as I'm concerned. Okay. That's for horses.